Tom Brady's an amazing quarterback, but you know what I can't stand, and I've seen you do this a time or two.
You can't stand me?
No, I can't stand something you've done a time or two.
Okay.
You try to make Tom Brady the greatest at everything. Right, he's the greatest quarterback, so he's got to be the greatest author, the greatest husband. You make him the greatest everything. Can he just be the greatest quarterback? That's it.
That's limited.
Marcellus,
no.
Michael Phelps, 28.
Oh, God.
Michael Phelps got 28 Olympic medals. I wouldn't claim he's the greatest athlete. Have you seen a swimmer out of water?
I thought you were going to go Michael Phelps.
I'm not going there.
Oh, okay. Don't dive in the deep end like that.
Jack Nicklaus, 18 major championships.
Golf?
That's my point.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say that he's the greatest athlete. Let's talk Katie Ledecky, 15 world championship titles, most of any swimmer. I wouldn't say that she's the greatest athlete.
Well, who are you going to say?
I would say, can I say Bo Jackson? Can I say a person that was an all-star in both athletes? Can I say Deion Sanders? Can I say Deion Sanders, who played 14 years in the league, but also 9 in the majors? Can I talk about an athlete who has done it both at a high level? Can I talk Kyler Murray, only quarterback, a top 10 draft pick in both sports? When you're talking greatest athlete, let's delineate, people. Because I see the belly laughs you're getting like a Santa Claus. Okay, but you don't look like Santa Claus anymore, so stop belly laughing.
Ho. I know about your life outside the studio. You better stop talking to me. Don't start shooting at me.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Yes, sir.
We have to delineate. Athlete, I have to talk about athleticism. Athlete, I have to talk about, can you transcend both sports? Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback. Tom Brady may be the greatest winner in sports. But when you say athlete, you're talking about athleticism. I'm not talking about what you did at one position well. Tom Brady is not nearly the greatest athlete.
I could rip up all of this. I thought you prepped for this segment.
I did.
Man.
I did.
You did? You came out here and went to the swimming pool, went to the golf course,
and
didn't even answer. Who were you? Bo Jackson? I mean, short-lived.
The question is Tom Brady the greatest? Not
I know the question.
Greatest, okay?
Okay. Tom Brady's the greatest athlete of all time. Let me do one of our jobs and answer the damn question. And, you know, this is funny because in my prep for this conversation, I was the most anxious. I had the most anxiety ever on this show working with you, Acho, because I didn't know who you were going to pick. I mean, there's thousands and thousands. It feels like millions of athletes to choose from. Then you got, obviously, like you said, delineate. You got to get to a certain level where you're like, these guys only qualify. And there still was a dozen or so. And I was like, who is Acho going to pick? Then I started to think, who is Acho? And I was like, he's super single. Okay, that ain't gonna help me. I was like, all right. He just wrote a book about racism. I was like, all right, that ain't gonna help me. Well, maybe a black athlete. I don't know. I ain't know where to go. And then you come out here and jump in the swimming pool and just drown. I was like, come on, man. Okay, one, let's separate best from greatest.
Yes, please.
We have to.
Let's do that.
Because the best athlete ever is somebody we all know from the hood or somebody we grew up with. But man, damn, why you have all them kids? Or why you couldn't stay focused? Like, best athlete, when you're being literal like you are, is about athleticism. Who jumps the highest, who can jump the farthest, who can run the fastest, etc. But Tom Brady is the greatest athlete. One, by accomplishment and accolade. We know that. But two, because he doesn't even have to be the best. But when you sum up all of those skill sets, and think about it, Acho, I don't know how great you are physically on a football field. I didn't play with you, and I just got to listen to your stories and other stories, which is all hearsay because I didn't see Acho day to day. But I look at you now, I was like, damn, he looked like a stud. He looked like he could ball. So the point is, whatever you look like and whatever you can do, whatever I could do, whatever I look like, Tom Brady's like, looks are deceiving. I will be greater than all your skill sets you can give me. Go. How fast are you? Are you faster than me? How far can you throw? You can throw it farther than me? Oh, okay. Every attribute you can name.
Like where you going?
Tom Brady says, add it all up, and it's still not enough. Aaron Rodgers, you're more talented than Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers, you have this tremendous skill set that is entering you into the GOAT conversation you don't even belong in. But take that to Cabo, bruh, because you are not Tom Brady, who is the greatest of all time. I don't have anyone to pit him against in this conversation right now because you didn't give me anybody. But I will say this in my last layer of my first lap. Tom Brady is playing also the ultimate team sport, where there are more variables than any other sport. When you talk about individual sports, as great as it is that it's all on you, it's also all on you. You don't have to worry about others and motivating them and leading them. You're the only one that has to be accountable. So I also look at that situation and demerit individual sport athletes, because Tom Brady's like, not only do I have to be great, I have to make others great, even when they're not focused, even when they're not committed, even when they're not good enough. And Tom Brady has added all those ingredients up, good and bad, and made it the greatest. Tom Brady's the GOAT.
I like your take. I like your take. I'm not mad at your take. The issue here is I don't have to give you one person because I'm taking the field. You're taking an individual.
Great point.
Right? Is Tom Brady the greatest athlete of all time? You taking Tom. I'm taking the field. So for me, it could be a Bo Jackson. For me, it could be a Deion Sanders. Because where I'm going is I'm going off of athleticism, Sel.
Damn, I knew we were going to have this conversation.
How can you...
So we doing boat.
Yes.
Best of all time.
How can you tell me
Stace Bozeman, then. You know who he is? No.
Tom Brady is the greatest winner, but Tom Brady's not even the greatest athlete at his position. Like, be real. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, be real. Lamar Jackson is a greater athlete at the position. Man. Tom Brady is a greater winner. If you want to call Tom Brady a greater, great. Then do that. But don't sit here and try to tell me that Tom Brady, who isn't as fast, isn't as strong, isn't as mobile, isn't as good off script as Aaron Rodgers, isn't any of those things, or Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, who is a greater runner, who is greater doing more things, who can play multiple positions in the same league that Tom Brady is in. Don't tell me he is a greater athlete. You know you went to Columbia. You know I'm an intelligent individual. We want to talk words. Let's talk words. We want to talk the meaning of them. Let's talk the meaning of them. But don't sit up here and tell me Tom Brady's a greater athlete.
Hey.
What up, big dog?
Man, I wanted a barbershop argument. Like, I really, look, I ain't got no hair, but I was going to go in there and give him my $20 and wait 5 hours.
Only $20? You know how much? That's how I know you don't go to barbershops.
It's more than $20?
Haircut sale costs in L.A. $50. If you make an appointment, $60, big dog.
You paying $60 for that?
Yes.
You need to get your money, at least some of it back, dog. You got 2 stripes like in the 80s. Boy, what you in? New Jack City? Boy, you better get up out of here. Here's the thing. I'm in the barbershop, and you decide to go to the salon with this conversation. You know what? Who's the best? Who could jump the highest? Give a damn how high you jump. This ain't the combine. I need to know what you can do on the field. Make it translate, or I'm going to start talking bad about you. Also, Tom Brady was drafted in baseball, since you want to give Deion Sanders and Bo.
Where was he drafted? 18th round? Do your homework.
Where was he drafted in football? 6th round. You and Tom Brady drafted in the same round. What are you doing? Don't be trying to hate on Tom Brady. And I love Deion Sanders. I got to get him out this conversation because it's going to hurt me. I love Deion Sanders. Here's the thing. If you look at Tom Brady's greatness, it's so contagious. Like, he's the common denominator of one dynasty. He's the common denominator of a second dynasty. And damn it, in a couple weeks, if he goes out there and wins and they return to form, he may be the common denominator of a third dynasty. Bruh, peep this. Tom Brady in his 10th Super Bowl potentially can win his 7th Super Bowl, and no one else has even played more than 6 Super Bowls. Dude, he's lapping the field. Didn't Lil Wayne have a verse about that? He's like, y'all thought I was running now. That was my victory lap. I'm just jogging. That's
a bar.
No, he's jogging. He's 43 in a Craftmatic luxury chair and still lapping Aaron Rodgers, who's more talented and more skilled than him. Still lapping Drew Brees, who I don't know if he's more talented or skilled, but certainly was a dragon to slay. This is Tom Brady going to a new team saying, oh, y'all thought it was just Belichick and I could take Belichick out of this. No slight to Belichick and his greatness, but now replicate that greatness somewhere else.
So let me ask you this, big dog.
Yes.
Because you undermined your answer in your answer, which is actually pretty outrageous, but yet and still enlightening. Tom Brady, say this then. Say he's the greatest motivator of all time. Say Tom Brady is the greatest. Say Tom Brady is the greatest galvanizer of winning and of men of all time.
No, that's Bishop Noel Jones. I got answers for all this.
You just said Aaron Rodgers is more talented. You said Aaron Rodgers is more skilled.
Yes.
So while answering your question, you're still saying that Aaron Rodgers is probably a greater athlete, but Tom Brady's a greater winner.
I'm saying he's a better
undermining
athlete.
Your answer.
I love that. Boy, shout outs to all the arguments I've had on this same conversation, because I'm sticking in greater and you're sticking in better. And it's fine. I'm not even mad at you. I don't even think you're
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Okay, better means, look, me and you, mano y mano, boom. Who's the best of that? And then in this context, there is no mano a mano. One, Tom Brady doesn't even go against Aaron Rodgers. We all know that. Duh. So he goes against their defense, and then they go against our defense. And if our defense is better, like we saw last week, then you got a problem. But we're not saying that. We're saying because of your presence and your performance, you have made everything greater, as I love to always quote, greater than the sum of its parts.
Correct.
Tom Brady has taken no name after no name and made them into a household name. Let me give you one example. People don't know this, or at least they don't profess it all the time. Wes Welker, who was borderline Hall of Fame before the Denver, and even in Denver he was balling, but the concussion kind of short-lived, whatever. Wes Welker was a San Diego Charger who was released to the Miami Dolphins.